This is a very deep case involving a bloated pot and a check raise and a call with middle pair bluff catching. So small blind calls. What's small blind's range? A lot of face cards and a made pair. Would a made pair act this way? Now we're getting to a bloated pot. So we opened with 7-10, raise, call, check, check, flop, check, check, flop. I think he was always planning the check raise. Yeah, even on the flop he would have check raised, I think. Because what's he gonna do with Queen 10? So he picks up a gutter, and he missed his gutter, but he's repping a straight. Correctly call. 9-10. He could have 9-10, but if he is as wide as 9-10, he's as wide as Queen 10 as well. Alright, so this is a very nuanced case. And he's not as wrong as I had thought. He picked up a gutter, and on a gutter he should have just let the turn with a pot size bet, especially since we went check check on the flop. So he's not as wrong as I thought with the check raise. The check raise though did increase the pot size, made it bloat the pot. Whereas if he let the turn, it was only a $14 pot bet. So the check raise possibility, he checked the turn thinking it would go check check, but once I bet quarter, he needed to check raise me for his gutter. So he's not as wrong on the check raise as I thought, since he had a gutter. Oh, he should have never called pre-flop. Never should have called pre-flop right here. And so check, yeah, and I could have bet my 7 on the flop, but mostly a check, as you can see, and small blind should lead for 14, and then if he did lead for 14, I'm supposed to call. And then the pot is still small, and he can lead pot. He could lead pot on the turn because he was potted the flop, and when he pots turn, I'd have to fold a lot because a pot river would lead to 0 EV, either fold or could fold correctly, the middle pair, because that's a lot of pressure. But let's see if we had top pair. Then it's 100% call. So middle pair. So this board texture is low enough that I could call with my middle pair. It was very situational. So this was a very interesting case where the board was low, allowing me to call with middle pair, even though it's a 7. So very cool. So Violin was supposed to bet the turn with a pot, but he check raised because he was thinking if we could both check turn, check check, but when I bet, he check raised. Now we have a bloated pot, and he was too fancy, and I interpreted it as too fancy, and so a direct lead for pot. So I think 2 pair would have made more sense as a check raise. So let's see if he had 8-7, a check raise would have been more sensible. So just give him some random 8-7. Oh. Let's get rid of the quarter pot for the, yeah, so no check raise here. How about a set? Could he have a set? Would he? No, it's all on this board, it's all bets with strong value. How about ace 8? Ace 8 is also a bet quarter. So anything is a bet quarter, but ace 7 is not. Yeah, and no check raise here. So there's not a lot of check raising. Okay, so anyways, he should have led pot with his value hands and his gutter as part of the bluff to balance out his value range, the 2 pair and the set. So lead. Actually, yeah, I think that's the turn. The flop optimal size is quarter bet. So, all right. So if villain had potted the turn, it would not have been a bloated pot, and then villain can then river pot. So this is a nuance and very interesting, and it turned out to be all low cards, allowing me to call river. So, like I said, these straight heavy wet boards is all 1 pot size for value and for gutter, the 10. 10 is a gutter, it's also a bet for pot. See, you have value at a7 and set of 8, set of 7, set of 6s, and then you have the gutter to balance out your bluff. So any 10, either queen 10, any 10, any gutter, especially since it's to the 10, not to the idiot end of the gutter. It's a 4-card gutter. I mean, it's a, yeah, when you complete it'll be a 4-card straight. So, on board. So, very interesting. So, we have small blind with an incorrect call on the flop when I raised to 6. And then the board is this. We went check, check, 3, 8, 7. On the turn, there's a gutter for the small blind. He should lead, but he checks, and then I bet quarter, and then he raised to half pot. I call with middle pair. Now the pot is bloated, so he was supposed to just lead the turn and then lead the river as a pot bet. And if he had paired his 10 or queen, he can just check, and because he has a made hand. And then river, he bets half, and it's all low board, so it's correct to call for me. But it will be interesting to see if there's a queen on board. So if he made a queen, he should check 100% of the time. So no, he should bet some of the time. That's a quarter pot, not full pot. Okay, makes sense. But even if he bets pot, which wouldn't have made sense to bet pot there, I should call with the 8, but not call with the 7 probably. It's still 93% call. Fascinating case. Very nuanced, a lot to learn here. Very nuanced. Good case.